If you have ever invested in real estate in Nigeria, or you want to invest and you are worried about appreciation as it relates to real estate in Nigeria, especially as it relates to the devaluation of the Naira or the instability of the Naira as against the dollar, and especially for those of you who invest with dollar or you invest in Nigeria but look at your valuation and appreciation based on dollar, then this particular video is for you. As someone who sells real estate investors across over 19 countries of the world, investing in dollars, pounds, with different currencies back here in Nigeria, it is my duty to respond to issues like this. Now, over the week, a video has been trending. First, a lady posted about a property that was bought in Banana Island at 7 million naira in 1992. And in 2025, it's now worth 3.5 billion naira. And that the freeze responded, and in his analysis, he made different assertions, said a lot of things, did a lot of mathematical analysis, and I'm happy to jump on that. And importantly, educate all of our audience, all of my audience, whether you are in the UK, you are in the US, you are in Asia, wherever you are investing from any currency back home in Nigeria, this video is absolutely critical. And this is the video that will end the argument as far as it concerns real estate investment in Nigeria with dollar or pounds, or you're looking at valuation generally or Naira devaluation or anything in between. This video is going to end that argument. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I am the lawyer that loves real estate, or if you like, the real estate entrepreneur that uses law and real estate as a tool in building wealth for myself and my clients. And this video will help you make proper analysis as it relates to how to invest strategically for maximum profit. And of course, this video is brought to you by Fortreal Real Limited, a real estate company right here in the very city of Abuja. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment, and be a part of this family. In this video, as point of analysis, we're going to be looking at Naira versus dollar in terms of their valuation. We're also going to look at the 7 million naira issue in 1992 versus the 3.5 billion naira valuation in 2025. We are going to answer the question whether that the freeze was correct or not, irrespective of how eloquent he was with the mathematical analysis. If it wasn't correct, in my opinion, or something was missing in between, then where did he miss it? We're also going to look at return on investment, risk, and stability of every form of investment across the world. And finally, what should you do as a smart real estate investor, whether you are living in Nigeria or you are living in the diaspora, investing here in Nigerian real estate. Finally, we're going to look at the issue of what should you do as a smart real estate investor investing in real estate back here in Nigeria, whether you're in the UK or you are in any part of the world and you want to build wealth leveraging on real estate back here in Nigeria. Again, this particular video is for you, and I highly encourage you to watch this particular video to the end. Look at all of the analysis and importantly, make your final decision based on the analysis I am going to be giving. And of course, all of the analysis can be fact-checked in a way that I'm happy to do another video to respond just in case you have a different opinion. As he was summarizing what Daddy Freeze has mentioned, he had stated that actually, technically speaking, this wasn't really good profit. And then he said that on the average, including inflation, this person didn't actually make so much profit. And in his words, there are other businesses that could have given you way more than this. And later towards the end of the video, he mentioned Apple, right? Buying stocks or shares with Apple, and I'm going to have to also make my analysis in line with Apple shares as at 1992 up to 2025. And of course, he mentioned that this person barely made around 800 million naira based on today's calculations. And of course, he went back and did some analysis and concluded that, or stated that, dollar was 9 naira to a dollar as at 1992. Of course, depending on where you got the dollar from, black market and all of that, right? But summary is that it was 9 naira to a dollar, and altogether, if you're looking at it in terms of dollar equivalents, you're looking at around 700k, 750k, $1,000 to get 7 million at the time, or that was what the value of 7 million was at the time. And as of today, if you look at the calculation, you're looking at this. So let's not analyze that the freeze calculation, right? Let me summarize his own. So he said that there are other businesses you could have put your money to make way more money, and in addition, that this 7 million naira, not many people could afford it, and that is absolutely correct. But let's look at the real picture and look at the real analysis that every smart investor should pay attention to at every point you listen to or you hear issues like this as it relates to real estate back here in Nigeria. In fact, before I even proceed, part of what really triggered me to do this video is that in his words, he stated categorically that this person would have wasted money or tied down his money, and I totally disagree. So back to our analysis, and I'm going to be as quick as possible. So in summary, based on this 9 naira to $1, this person needed $700k or $750k, depending on the valuation that you use at the time to acquire this particular property. All right, and then in 2025, this same dollar equivalent is now approximately $2.1 million, right, with a $1,600 calculation as against Naira. So in Naira, this person invested 7 million Naira and made 3.5 billion Naira. And in dollars, this person invested about $750,000 and invested about and made about $2.1 million. And then if you look at it by its actual calculation, this person made over $1 million from the investment. And at this point, this person made over a lot of money, right? In terms of Naira, it is massive returns. But in terms of dollar, it is not so much, basically around ×3 return on investment based on this particular calculation in terms of dollars. But again, we must not ignore the fact that this person may have invested his money in Naira and not in dollars. Assuming the person invested the money in dollars or made the dollar conversion to Naira to make this investment, then of course it's another conversation which we're also going to deal with in a moment. If you're really part of this family on this YouTube channel, you will know that I have taught you consistently that for real estate investment, it's not just about the surface, it's not just about having money. You must be strategic, and I'm going to show all of that to you in this particular video to make these numbers incorrect or partially incorrect. So for a passive real estate investment where you may not have done anything at all, you invested $750,000 and made 2.1 million Naira, and then he made a reference to businesses, other businesses, which at the point he did not mention. Now the question is, in 33 years, how many businesses are alive? Secondly, how many businesses are profitable to give you this amount of money in 33 years? And of course, there is still the other part of running the business and determining your profit as it relates to the sustainability of the business. Now, beyond this, there is something very, very important that he missed in this equation, which is that first, this is passive, right? And of course, there is the other purposes of real estate, which is what I refer to as the use case of real estate. In other words, I'm talking about capital appreciation and cash flow. If this person abandoned this land and did not do anything on it, then it's okay to reduce the valuation or reduce the value or return that this person may have had, even though even by its natural calculation, this person made over $1 million. But if this person brought in the use case of real estate, which is in terms of capital appreciation and cash flow, then there's going to be massive money to be made by this person, and this 3.5 billion Naira cannot even be the issue. As a matter of fact, this person is going to be making over 10 billion Naira at the end of my calculation in this particular video, and I'm going to show you how we get there. So let's start from here. In 1992, right, plot of land in Banana Island between 1990s and the 2000 when Banana Island became Banana Island, as we all now know. Right, between this period, if this person bought in 1992, then he may have bought 1 square meter of Banana Island for say around 2,500 to say 5,000 Naira per square meter, right? Per square meter. This is what he may have bought this size. So if it was for 7 million Naira, then it means that this particular man bought on the average of 1,400 square meter plots. This is what he most likely may have bought by virtue of this calculation. It could even be more, or maybe around 1,000 square meters, but it can never be below 1,000 square meters considering this particular calculation. Remember, he made comparison with Apple towards the end of his video, and I'm going to respond to that, as well as even bring in other forms of investment like gold and many other forex, cryptocurrency, or everything in between, and make comparison with respect to real estate. Now, as somebody who is playing in the field of real estate, and based on my understanding of construction, this 1,400 square meters can definitely give us over 12 units of apartment. Good ones. In fact, I would bet to say luxury apartment with very good parking space. For a place like Abuja, it can work. For a place like Lagos, I can comfortably do 15 units of apartment and even more in this particular or on this particular plot of land. If I even want to do a skyscraper, it even goes even more. But let's take our calculation to 12 units of apartment. Remember, I mentioned that the most important part of the calculation is not just the land, but the use case of the land, which is where Daddy Chris missed a very important valid point. So looking back at construction in the early 2000, 1995, thereabout to 2000, you can completely build these 12 units of apartment with less than 100 million naira. And between the year 2000, assuming the person built immediately, to 2010, he definitely could get around 1 million to 3 million per annum. Between 2010 to 2020, he could get around 7 to 15 million naira per annum from each of the units. And between 2020 to this point, he can get as much as 25 million to 35 million per unit of each of these apartments. Of course, in the rental business, we must look at management, maintenance, and other things as relates to managing the property, rental issues, and some of that. And at that point, we can take away as much as 15% calculation or profit in terms of the revenue that each of the apartment will give us. And at that particular point in time, if you look at the cumulative rent alone from this apartment gives you as much as 2.5 billion naira. The property itself, in terms of valuation, will not remain 100 million naira. By valuation, as at today, in the Banana Island of Lagos, you definitely can have this property going for as much as 7 billion naira and even more. So we have from the rent, we have about 2 point something billion from the rent. We have 7 point something from the valuation of the property itself based on capital appreciation. So capital appreciation, cash flow, all things being equal, having removed maintenance and everything in between, this person, in terms of the present value of that particular property, if the person apply the cash flow as well as the capital appreciation points of real estate, this property, everything in between should be giving us around 9 to 10 billion naira. So if this man made this investment at 7 million naira and left it without doing anything on it, and it amounted to 7 billion naira, did he make money? Yes, he made a lot of money. But would he make more? Definitely yes. He can make as much as 10 billion naira from this same property based on capital appreciation. And how this is possible is simply maximizing the use of the land, which is what I have always taught my clients on this YouTube channel. So towards the end of his video, he made reference to Apple shares or stocks as the case may be. And then of course, in the beginning, he made reference to there are other businesses you can put your money. The truth about it is that I doubt if you can find 1, 2, 3 businesses that can beat real estate and give you this kind of profit in 33 years. So let's leave Nigerian businesses completely out of this equation in terms of shares and stocks. Let's focus on Apple shares because it is in dollars, and that as it is will be the best form of return in terms of investing in stocks and shares. So without boring you with too much details, Apple shares will definitely give you over 30,000% return if you had invested that in 7 million in Apple shares. And at the time, that will be giving you over 900,000 shares of Apple. And of course, at the time, this same 1992, Apple shares was not really doing well at the time. So I wouldn't know if you, as an investor, may have invested in Apple shares at the time. But just assuming you did, it should have given you over 900,000 shares. And as of today, you will be over $15 million in profit. In addition, if you had invested in gold or other maybe intangible assets like currency as at today, you may have even made way more than that, assuming it was so at the time. But in the actual sense of things, these two comparisons have pros and cons, which is what we failed to look at, or he failed to look at in the video. So at that point, we have return on investment, we have risks, and we have stability. You cannot compare. The stability that real estate gives to you, you can't compare. And this is 33 years. How many businesses could you have invested in their stock or shares, as the case may be, to have that company running profitably for 33 years without having the instability or volatility to worry about a real estate investment? In fact, there have been videos all around the internet of people who had invested in companies, in their shares, in their stocks, and as of today, all of those investments have devalued extremely in a way that is absolutely unbelievable. And that automatically takes us to the risk of both investment, whether you invest in Apple or you invest in real estate. The risk for Apple is extremely higher. It's higher than that of real estate because real estate presents you control, stability. You can see it. But with Apple, it's a lot of numbers happening behind the scene that you have no control over. Anything can happen at any point in time. Over the years, there's been a lot of devaluation of shares in businesses and of course other forms of investment. But real estate has maintained stability, has maintained growth, and has remained the number one tool that can serve as hedge against inflation all over the world. And that is why wealthy people, rich people keep investing in real estate irrespective of what a lot of persons are saying, even in the comment section. In fact, the people who truly invest in real estate are not commenting, and that is a fact. So it's up to you to decide whether you want to invest in Apple or you want to invest in real estate. And again, the other question is, as somebody who is living in the diaspora, should you invest in Nigeria with your dollar or with your pound? The question is absolutely yes, depending on your vision, depending on your goal. And most importantly, when you decide to invest, invest strategically and make sure that you are maximizing profit. I have done videos and talked a lot about maximizing profit. When you are not, you reduce the potential of real estate here in Nigeria, and that is where expert opinion professionals come in to guide you so that you are able to invest the right way, so that this person doesn't just live at the realm of getting 3.5 billion from 7 million when he can get way more than that. So in conclusion, was Daddy Freeze correct? To a large extent, he was. But for me, in terms of comparison, because one mistake we make at every point is, I understand that the world is a global economy, right? One mistake we should always try to stop making is comparing Naira to dollar at every point we want to talk about real estate or make comparisons. Like I said, I understand that it's a global economy and the macroeconomy will always impact the microeconomy. But the truth about it is that we're in Nigeria, Naira is Naira, that is a constant. Dollar is dollar, and that is a constant. Whenever you want to invest in dollar or with dollar in Nigeria, all you have to do is look at your numbers, be strategic, look at your long-term goal. And again, real estate is long-term. If you do it well, you will definitely maximize profit however you invest in it. Even though there is war or anything goes wrong, a lot of things with real estate will remain stable and will remain sustainable. So as a honest and unbiased real estate consultant, I would say that the ultimate game of every wealthy person is diversification. Put in a part of the money in real estate. Put in a part in Apple shares if you have the money. Just make sure that you are diversifying. Even in real estate, still diversify. In other words, diversify for short-term, long-term land banking, cash flow, and everything in between. The goal is that you maximize your profit. And if you do that, if you are able to do that based on professional advice, you will definitely do well while investing in real estate in Nigeria, whether you are in the diaspora or not. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I am the lawyer that loves real estate. So if you like the real estate entrepreneur that uses law and real estate as a tool in building wealth for myself and my client. And I hope that this gives you clarity and of course teaches you how to invest strategically with real estate back here in Nigeria, whether you are earning in dollars or in Naira. Enjoy the rest of your day and bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like you to drop a comment and be a part of this family, because right here we are building wealth, leveraging on real estate. And as you can clearly see, we don't just tell you what to invest in, we also teach you how to invest strategically back here in Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you on the next one.